Hey there, this is Nick, and in this video, I will show you how to build a flow of warm customer leads, which will directly result in sales for your online business. And the best part is that you can build this flow completely for free, and I'm going to show you how to do that. I have used warm customer leads for my interview preparation service, Amazon Bound, and I have grown that service to more than 3,600 paying customers, any one of them spending between $250 to $4,500 on the service on my site. And I want to share how to build that flow of warm customer leads that is hopefully going to generate similar or better results for you. All right, so 100% lived experience, that's what we're going to talk about today. Show, don't tell, live screen, and useful information that you can put to use in 15 minutes or less after the end of this video. This was my path. Take what makes sense and discard the rest. Okay, so let me show you the Amazon Bound website that I mentioned. This is the interview preparation website that I have where I help motivated people get ready for the Amazon interview. I think there will be two aspects of this video that are going to be very helpful to you. One, I'm going to show you how to build an online calendar app and embed it on the homepage of your site to invite customers to book a call with you right then and there. And two, I'm going to show you how this online flow of leads, this funnel of warm leads, how that works and manifests itself through my business. I'm going to show you specific numbers, dates, names, so you can see how these concepts, which might sound somewhat academic, how they actually matter and how they push my business forward. All right, so before we jump into the concrete stuff, let's take a 3-minute preamble to describe the difference between cold selling versus warm leads. Both are very important. You should do both in tandem. Cold sales are very important for your growth. They're harder to do than warm leads because they are what they sound. These are customers who you have to call or email or text, and they've never heard of you, and you have a very limited amount of time to convince them to spend money on your product. And that's similar to you eating your broccoli. That's gonna teach you a lot, but it's also a very hard channel that you're gonna have to wrestle with and get better with as you go. In parallel, you should spend time with warm leads as well. Warm customer leads are potential customers who are aware of your service. They've either seen your product online in some capacity or somebody has referred them to your product, and at least they're aware of your product because somebody has told them about your product and service. Therefore, these customers are naturally predisposed to want to do business with you better than the cold leads. And that's why it's so valuable and important to get them on board and build a structure with which to capture them on your site. And that's exactly what we're going to do later. So here's how these customers work and function, right, at a high level. They have a problem that they're looking for a solution to that problem. And they find your warm leads channels organically in the places online where they frequent. They become aware of your product via those channels, and then they visit your site. They familiarize themselves even more with the type of service you have, and at that point they're ready right then and there to book a call with you in real time because of the online calendaring functionality that I'm going to share with you next. Here is where the rubber hits the road, and we're going to start doing some things for real, okay? So we're going to do 3 steps. We're going to go through 3 steps here. We're going to set up an account with a free calendar service like Calendly or cal.com. I'm going to show you how to customize your meeting preferences, and then I'm going to show you how to link that calendar to a button on your homepage so that the potential customer is going to have no excuse but to click on that button and set a meeting with you. So let's open up one of these apps, and I'm using Calendly, by the way. Calendly. And here you'll see that you can set a meeting with Calendly. I am on the free Calendly plan. I can only set one of those meetings online and post a link to it. This is my 15-minute free consultation. I'll show you how it works. If you click on the edit button, you can see the different options that you have to customize the meeting. The first one is the event details. You can call the meeting whatever you want. You can set the duration for the meeting. You can choose the meeting, the video conferencing software to embed with Calendly in order to have this happen. So this is going to be pretty much the place where you're going to meet with the other party. Once you're done with that, you set up the host. These apps are linked to an email account, an email address, and you're the host with that email address. You're the authenticated party. You can allow the invitees to add other guests as well, if you so please. Then we come to the scheduling settings. These are largely bureaucratic kind of settings where you can choose to let people book you this many days in advance. This is your weekdays opening or weekends opening. People can book you from 10 to 2 p.m. in my case. You can define the buffer time, how many meetings you have per day, so on and so forth. These are pretty much clerical steps that you have to set up. And then comes the most important part of the booking page for me. Those are your booking page options. You want to collect enough information from each lead before the meeting to make the meeting most productive. And these are fields that you would pre-specify on the page that the lead, that the invitee needs to fill out. And on the one hand, you don't want to have them fill out too much information. And on the other hand, you want to make sure that you have all the relevant information you can. So in my case, I'm asking for their name and email. Without the email, I can't book this meeting. Then I'm allowing them to invite guests. Here's the most important part for me. I'm asking them to give me context about what they need and how I can prepare for the meeting. And this is a required field. And also, just as importantly, I'm asking them to tell me how they found me. And in my case, these are the three main channels of warm leads acquisition. Please remember what those are. They're going to be maybe different for you, but I'm going to come back to these in a moment. So in my case, they're word of mouth, YouTube search, Google search, and I'm asking them to specify how they found me. You can ask for a payment. The reason why some people ask for a payment is to ensure that the invitee shows up. In my experience, about 5 to 10% of people who book meetings with you, they would ghost you. So that's why some people ask for a payment. I disagree with that option. I think that's too prohibitive, asking someone to pay money before they've even met you. Then we get to notification and workflows. These are, again, entirely clerical. These give you the ability to send reminders. And in my case, I don't use these because these are part of the paid plan with Calendly. Okay, so once you set up your settings like this, your meeting is going to populate. You need to copy the link and you're done as far as that part of the process goes. If you're starting this from scratch, you need to click on new event type and then walk through the funnel that I just walked you through. One-on-one meeting versus group meeting, and then you keep marching forward. And these are all things we've already taken care of. So we've gone this far. We're copying the link. The meeting is enabled. Now I need to take this meeting and embed it on my webpage. So in order to do that, I need to go to my CMS, my content management system, where I'm hosting my websites. And you can see here how I'm hosting both Amazon Bound and BarRaiser with Squarespace. I'm using Calendly for both of these websites. I'm going to show you how Amazon Bound is built because that's what we're talking about today. So you click on the website button. Here we are. It defaults to the home page. If I click edit on the home page, I can now embed that link onto a button prominently on my site. Now let's take a step back here and talk strategy. I've chosen to preserve the most important button on the site, the most prominent button on the site for customers to enroll in my free courses. You can choose to ask them to book a call with you in this location or a similarly prominent location. This is up to you. You'll see later on how I'm finding a balance between giving customers free courses and asking them to book a call with me. So I scroll to the first place in the page where customers are invited to book a call with me. So here comes the section where I say, still unsure if you should enroll, try our free course or book a free Q&A call with us. And here's the book a call button. So if I click to edit the button and then I edit further down, here's the link that I'm interested in. I can edit that link and it's already pre-populated for me, but let's say if I deleted it for a moment and I pasted the link that I copied from the Calendly site, which is identical, then now once customers click this button, it's gonna call up the meeting page. And I'm gonna show you how that looks like in a moment, okay? But before I do that, I wanna take a step back and show you again the balance between giving customers free content and asking them to enroll in a call with me. So I have asked them, I've suggested that they should enroll in a free course up here. And then for the second time, I do it down here, enroll in a course or book a call with me. And then at the end, I'm asking them to book a call in one more location. So you can see that on balance, I have 2 buttons to book a call with me and 2 buttons to give customers free goodies. It's up to you how you want to define that balance. That's how I've done it for my property. Okay, so once you've done this, now we can test how this works. And if we open a new window here, let's pretend that I'm a customer and I go to amazonbound.today. I see this beautiful site. I have an upcoming interview with Amazon coming. I scroll, and I read about this service. I get to book a call. I say, yes, I want to book a call with this person. Click, and then boom, here is the website that we designed on the Calendly site. I choose an open date, let's say Friday, and I click a time, 11:30. You can see how the calendar here is synced with the rest of my calendars so that it only shows the openings that I have instead of being double booked. I click next. I provide the information that I have asked all customers to provide mandatorily. So my name is Nick. My email is, I'm gonna share my personal Gmail. I can choose to invite a guest or not. I provide the context for the meeting. So it will be a test meeting. And then I have to say how I found out about the service, word of mouth, YouTube search, or Google search. In my case, maybe it was Google search, and I schedule the event. And voila, Calendly sends an invite to the customer and it books my calendar as well. So that's how this process works. Let's close these tabs and come back to the main menu. So now we come to the really good part. Thank you for sticking out this long. I'm going to walk you through how my customer acquisition flow and funnel works, and I'm going to show you why these things are so important and why they matter. So my warm leads, let's put myself in the position of my customers. I'm a customer who's been invited to interview with Amazon. They have maybe a week or 2 weeks left until the interview loop, and they're frantically trying to find information on how to prepare for the interview and how to ace the interview. You need that type of granularity in imagining what the journey of your customer looks like. So as one of those customers, I go to YouTube and Google. Those are the 2 places where my customers find information for their upcoming interviews. And I have a YouTube channel to capture both of those use cases. On this YouTube channel, I'm publishing content, and I have, I believe, about 100 videos published already. Yes, 96 videos. And these videos I publish maybe every couple of weeks or so. All right, so with that information, now let's go back into the shoes of the customer. I would, as a customer, open youtube.com, and I'm looking now for various questions that I don't know the answer of as I'm trying to prepare to be exceptional during my Amazon interview. So one of these questions could be, let's say, I don't know, Amazon phone screen interview, right? Let's see what comes up there. And boom, I'm at the very top. How should I prepare for the Amazon phone screen interview? I'm the #1 listing there. Another search the customers can go into would be, let's say, Amazon earns trust questions. Interview questions. There you go. Interview questions. And I'm not at the top here, but hopefully I show up later. There you go. I'm on the very first page, and maybe that's the 4th or 5th hit. How would I display earns trust in the Amazon interview? So you see in real life, in real time, how customers are looking for information and how they're finding me. Then let's use the other main acquisition channel, which in my case is good old Google. So if I go to google.com and I look for Amazon interview, let's say debrief, and then I scroll here and I see all these entries that are telling me about how the Amazon debrief works. And I keep looking and scrolling, and boom, Amazon bound is at the very bottom of the 2nd page search on Google. Let's do one more use case maybe, and let's see how long it takes Amazon to make a hiring decision. So if we scroll down, boom, there you go. I'm the very first entry here in the videos list. So you can see how being on YouTube helps me both with YouTube and with Google. So that's how customers look for my information. And that's the type of information I have seeded for these warm lead channels to encounter me by and visit my website. So once customers find my site, they scroll, click on the book a call, and the rest I've already walked you through. All right, now let's go back to my talking points and shed some more light here. So as I mentioned, my main 2 acquisition channels of warm leads are YouTube videos and Google searches. In some cases, you might want to experiment with other options too. I used to post text articles on Medium and X and Reddit and Quora, and in my case those were not as effective as videos because having a video connection develops a better rapport with my customer. In your case it could be different, but my point is you should experiment with other magnets, with other channels where you customers might reside and seek for information. And you should maybe, once you figure out what that customer behavior looks like, boil down your presence to maybe 2 or 3 channels. Do not spread yourself too thin. So for me, that's free content on social media, those videos that I mentioned on YouTube, and also the free courses. As you can see, I give my courses, my free courses, the same prominence on my site as asking people to book a call with me. I wanted to mention though that I started out by joining platforms with established online presence. And you might want to start building your YouTube or text presence or what have you right away. But side by side with that, maybe you want to join an existing platform where acquisition and discoverability is going to be less of a problem for you. In my case, I published the very first Amazon bound courses on Udemy. And then later on, I published some of my custom service of interview preparation and mock interviews on Airbnb as Airbnb experiences. The trouble with these platforms, and I'm not going to go into this in too much depth, I'm going to save this for a different video, but the trouble with these platforms is that you don't own your customer. You don't have their email address. You cannot build a direct relationship with them. So they are helpful to get you going, but at some point or another, I would expect you to graduate from them, leave them on your own, and go out on your own with your own CMS and your own presence that you'll start from scratch. I also invest heavily in offline word of mouth relationships and partnerships. My customer acquisition funnel, the warm leads funnel, starts with YouTube videos and with free courses. But once these customers enroll in my courses and they're delighted and I help them get hired by Amazon and change their lives in the process, they develop this really strong relationship with me. And now they're willing to refer me to their friends and family and acquaintances and so on and so forth. And that's why it's important to delight each and every one of these customers, because then in the future they become these offline referral sources that pretty much last forever. And last but not least, I have offline partnerships as well, particularly in my case with a number of universities in the Seattle area, where I visit their campuses and I lecture their students on how to prepare for their interviews. And of course, these are paid engagements. My customers discover me via those channels that I just walked you through. And a subset of them book a meeting with me via the buttons that I showed you. I think it's very important to start with populating those buttons on your side and enable the customers to have a meeting with you if they so desire. The top of the funnel, as I'm mentioning up here, that's going to most likely take you some time to figure out, and it's going to take some time for it to completely come to fruition, and you're going to have to iterate on it a bunch, and that's fine. That's why it's important to start at the very bottom. That's why we started with the Calendly link and whatnot, and once that's in place, then focus on building those warm lead channels more fully. The last step is to show you this whole process in action. So it's not just these empty academic concepts. You can actually see that this moves real dollars. So I will take you to my inbox, and let's start with this gentleman. His name is Louis, and as you can see, Louis booked a call on the 26th of July via the Calendly app. And he was smart because he used the BarRaiser site to book this call, because on the BarRaiser site, which is my B2B service, I'm giving customers a 30-minute initial call, while on the consumer side, I'm giving people 15-minute initial calls. So this gentleman maybe compared between the two and found me and booked a call on the BarRaiser site. Kudos to him. So he books the call on the 26th. Then on the 27th, take a look. This same gentleman, Louis, is enrolled in one of my free courses on the day of the Amazon interview. Let me show you how that works. If I click on the sign up for a free course button here that I showed you earlier, I take you to the on the day of the Amazon interview mini course, and you enroll in that. So going back to Louis's journey, he has now enrolled in on the day of the Amazon interview for free on the 27th after we've met on the 26th. And check this out. On the 29th, this same Louis has now purchased the essential package for $247. So you can see how the Calendly app, together with my warm leads funnel, enabled this engagement. We had a call, it went well. The next day he enrolled in my free course. A couple of days later, he enrolled in a paid course for $247. Now let me give you one more example with another customer. Her name is Lolita. And Lolita booked a call via the regular channel here in Amazon Bound, a 15-minute call. She booked a call on the 23rd of July. And then if I go back to my inbox on the 23rd of July, Lolita purchased a service, written feedback for one store response, for $247. And then the following day, the 24th of July, Lolita purchased a separate service, mock interview with a BarRaiser, for $747. So you can see how Lolita, in the course of 2 days, invested $1,000 in our service. And that was enabled by that flow that I talked about, by that link, by that invite to book a call with me, have a face-to-face encounter. Afterwards, she engaged and purchased these two separate courses. I want to stress that this is not the only acquisition flow that I work with. You can see how there are a number of people who have enrolled in the on the day of the Amazon interview free course. Usually there's maybe one every day, couple a day, one every other couple of days. The 7 vital LPs for new Amazonians, that's another free course that people enroll in. The channels which customers use in order to engage with my content are different. I cannot predict what they are. I have segmented them into these 3 buckets: word of mouth, YouTube content, YouTube search, and Google search. But the engagement that they follow is different. That's why I mentioned earlier, set that Calendly or cal.com catch-all at the very bottom of the funnel. Be ready to have those conversations with customers, and then continue to tinker on the top of the funnel how you engage with those customers and how you bring them in the door. And you should also know that for these types of purchases, $1,000 purchases in some cases, $2,000 in other cases, the customers are not going to reach that decision lightly, and they're not going to make that decision just by visiting your site once. Frequently, they come back to the site multiple times and check out different aspects of it. Sometimes they speak with me on a Calendly call. Other times, they enroll in a free course. And after that course, they enroll in a paid course, having the peace of mind that with my refund policy, they can get their money back for the essential package. What have you. You want to give your customers this diversity of choices and capture them at the end with an invite to have a one-on-one conversation with you. Okay, so let's go back to our talking track here. I don't believe that the organic search is dead. Organic discoverability is under a siege for sure. With AI and with the rise in paid search, the top 5, 6, 7 slots in some of these search pages are occupied. And as you saw on this one search that I performed, my entry came at the very bottom of page 2. I don't think organic discoverability and organic search is going anywhere. Most of all because, and we get into the parting thoughts here, most of all because the organic leads are forever. They take a while to build, but they are truly forever, and they're going to be the gift that keeps on giving. I cannot tell you how many times I've worked with customers from years ago who continue to this day to refer new customers to me just because I've changed their lives, just because I've touched their lives in ways that have made them better off before they knew me. And they want to repay that. You know, it's part of human nature. Another parting thought is start now. As Bezos says, in a sufficiently long amount of time, you can fill a bucket with a dropper. Time is going to pass. Do it now. Put that filter of the Calendly meeting at the bottom of the funnel, and then start filling the top little by little. You can do it in your free time. If you have 30 minutes a day, if you have 45 minutes a day, record that video, write that article, create that free piece of content, and start building that flow, that acquisition channel for your organic warm lead customers to find you. All right, I hope this was a useful conversation. If it is, please subscribe to this channel. But most importantly, ask me questions. Tell me if this was useful to you. Suggest new topics that would be more beneficial or as beneficial to you. I would love to hear from you there. And chin up. I'm rooting for you on your journey to build your lifestyle solopreneur business. I know you can do it. You've got this. Stay in touch. I'll see you soon. Bye.